just love it. Marjorie Taylor puts these songs to paper. Um, okay. Okay. That's not title to this song here. That's Italy town. On the water. Big squares, such a stare, so stress can sing from just about anywhere. I love living in the water. Okay. Yes. That's life in the water. Towel. Italy. Songs to paper continue. How dare you forget to call me on my birthday, play day. Rented out venues, Savannah, all about me. Address, locale, I know you've changed the flow, sweet street. We're following the planner home because it is my birthday. Late, 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 late. sport and run 'cause it's your birthday, lady. Ow, 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 how dare you forget to call me on my birthday, lady? Do not ask for the run 'cause it's your birthday, lady. Yeah. You can get making sure no one forgets, being pressuring. No one has forgotten, acting all spoiled 'cause it's your birthday, lady. He says, not ask for the run 'cause it's your birthday, lady. Ow, how dare you forget to call me on my birthday? Actually, I do not want cake. Ow. Yes. This is so flag 'em over here. Yeah. Flag 'em over here. Yeah. My birthday, flag 'em over here. Usually I'm not a hot crowd. I cannot believe they arrived. Flag 'em over here. Flag 'em over here. Flag 'em over here. Got me on this conversation. While I'm mellowing first a celebration. Winding down. When we were chilling. Yeah, that party was real before I want, I'm going.
Full of shit, yo.
I'm going right now. Hello. I will meet you there. Ooh.
Oh. Oh. What's that?
Flag 'em over here. Flag 'em over here. Flag 'em over here. Flag here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll make some.
Some paper. Oh, this is on here. I enjoy the best birthday of my life. Can't think of anything close. I went to Lock River. Best birthday of my life. The best birthday of mine ever. The best birthday ever. I enjoy the best birthday ever of my life. This is summer. This is best birthday of my life. The best birthday of my life. Yes. Best birthday of my life. Oh. Okay. With a lot of time, many seconds left, and it must be, so much time is left, and it should not be envisioning a reason to write a melody. A lot of time, many seconds left, and it must be, so much time is left, not much to sing about, not to write in. My world's apart, nothing but a ball. Too much time is left, Boredom has filled the cage. Too much time is left. My word is a bond.
I hope you ain't late.
So much time is left, and it shouldn't be. Greatest of things are not written out. Glorious times. Glorious times are not all acted out. Glorious times. That was just a world. I have got so much time left, and there must be. There must be. There must be.
Overturn that big man, go all the way back around and turn around.
There must be. Sounds paper.
I really starting to hate this phone auction. I'm starting to hate this phone auction.
The last
That shit breaking my stuff. Give me some bitch that hit me from overtime. That would be so mad. Oh,
want to know the last I want to know the last to see. And off I go. And off I go. This is magistrate mediation on air. Coming up with our case. Here we go here. Okay, we have the case titled I think it says here Doorless. The case titled Doorless. We have our property manager, female, and we have our tenant, male. I'm turning away from hip hop as much as I can. Property manager. Sir, I think before I go further than that, so I would like to take a pause and have someone come in and speak for me. Okay, have a second. I got to go and get my guy. there an age. I told her, I kept telling her that, let me, she said she has it. I said, no, you don't. So I decided that I would just prove her wrong. And here I sit now. Um, okay. Property manager? Yes. Um, Compliance to the available apartment um, had a revision, and the tenant here seems to keep saying that he did not get the revision. Yes. Tenant, I got the revision, and when I got the revision, it was already too late, actually, because um, the authorities already came out and took several reports, and outside of that, the restraining orders were already positioned. Um, of course, the actual leasing agent could not um, be here in this room because of the restraining order that I did not place. Why I'm here today, I don't know. I thought that everything um, had calmed like the seven seas. Yes. Property manager. It is said that we're here today. I looked through the folder, um, the leaflet, and I have another thick one here with pockets full of documents. The compliance of no profanity and all of that other stuff. Um, the behavior that has been captured. We have audio and we have video ready to present when we go further. Tenant. Well, I don't understand why they just didn't make this a criminal matter. We could have just went on and did a criminal case here and just went on that area aspect instead of this, because this is interfering with my living, and I don't think that both of those should intertwine. I think they just want to take up my time to use my apartment as a go-go room. Property manager. We're not using time here. I'm just going by the actual scheduling of what has been presented to me for the thorough of this process. And there's nothing more else that needs mediation here. It is obvious that people think that they are set for living just because they have a lease. And they need to understand the importance of signing a lease that has compliance, because things still way outside of other things on the lease once it gets to compliance, and we just can't go any further here. That's it for me. Okay, folks, well, you have it. No need for me to go back to the tenants. They're going to take this further in magistrate there. And hopefully, you know, they can really get everything back to the, you know, within range there, I tell you. On to the next case. Now, this case right here happens to be, they say this case is actually a two-part case. This is a two-part case. However, there's only mediation on this. I think they're going to another place for court issues there. Now, that is what the other two parties was similar to that. Okay. Okay. This is titled Drip Drip. Okay, we have landlord, and we have a tenant here at the middle. Landlord? Yeah. All around the clock, when they invented a clock, they didn't mean for the hand to just really keep turning like the hand keeps turning on the kerosene. I decided to put the kerosene outside of the camper, but when the camper ended up being part of the actual trailer home, then that was when the violation began, because you can't have the camper connected to the kerosene with the wheel of a turn like the hand of a clock. And I told him about this before he decided that he wanted to connect his trailer to my trailer. And I already have enough explosives. Tenant? He understood the connection. He understood the hookup. He understood it. When you have 3 valve holes there with a wheel turner, one for kerosene and one for dolomite, then he understood exactly. And he told me, hey, I see you want to go with your camper all the time, and sometimes you leave behind your cricket, and I understand that. But what I'm saying is, whenever you need extra of that stuff there, feel free. And feel free. And I'm like, yeah. So I never, really felt that free. I always would just add a couple of dollars into the drop box and go for self. What's that? Go for self. I was told to do that. Now I'm here. Property manager. Now, I, didn't realize the grade of his products. Coming onto my property and trying to rent from me using dolomite, we don't use dolomite. We believe that dolomite is a lower grade, and we can't have dolomite mixed in with our kerosene
and we can't have other things that I have in my uh, trailer, because again, I expressed that I have explosives, and um, you know, the community is aware and the surroundings aware, and I made sure that he knew that. Tenant, like I said, you know, I don't, we've did this conversation over and over again. It's not the first time. Actually, we should have just come in here and been here for a second. I see the line is wrapped down the hall, and I know that you only have a certain amount of time, and we shouldn't have to keep going over this. Now, there's a problem with my dolomite. Now, I don't know, you know, whether I see anybody else around there using dolomite or not. I don't care. I showed up there with dolomite. Now he wants. I'm turning away from hip hop as much as I can. I'm turning away from hip hop as much as I can. I'm turning away from hip hop as much as I can. I'm turning away from hip hop as much as I can. Me to have my dolomite disposed of. And I'm just not going to do that. So I guess as of now, we're going to move forward. Yes. Property manager? Yes, we're moving forward. Okay. Well, you have it, people. They're moving forward. Yes. Okay. On to the next case. I tell you. Okay. This is mother and daughter, um, homeowners. Okay. And they rented out to a nanny. Okay. Uh, homeowners. And when I got with my daughter, and I decided that, I had grieved enough, then we can go ahead and rent this out to the nanny that my daughter um, the nanny my daughter had actually became not her nanny after she departed from her spouse. Now, the nanny that moved into the home decided to move my daughter's spouse in, and which was no problem because the home is very big there, we had no problem, but the problem became when, you know, the complaints started coming in um, to my daughter. Property manager? Yes, I started getting several complaints that the nanny um, was just moving in a whole bunch of guys. And it started with um, my ex-husband, and then I started finding out that the home was getting very overtaken by huge men, and we didn't understand what was going on because um, I thought that it was just going to be the nanny and her family. If we would have known that the nanny was going to do that, we would have went on and had the fire department come out and do a head count and do an area search of the capacity and the weights that can be placed in our home, because the damages that have occurred from these men is outrageous, and we've been through our paperwork, and we've called it and had estimates, and these estimates have really piled up. Tenant, there was no clause in the leasing thing that said that I could not have people stay with me beyond my family, and I think that they're just being nosy. Um, the wear and tear is normal wear and tear. I don't think that they're even responsible for any of the wear and tear. I think that they just want to go upon it themselves and have all this stuff did based on wear and tear and principles just to take to their insurance company. Landlord, um, I'm just going to save it for the judge. I am too. I agree with my mother. I'm just going to save it for the judge. Okay. Tenant. Yes, I think that they should just save it for the judge. Again, I'm pretty adamant that the judge is going to rule in my favor because, again, I have all of my paperwork here, and I have some statements and witnesses and testimonies and all of that. And I also had the men go in and get weighed and everything. And and I have the documents from the fire department and everything else as well. Yes, we're going to move forward. Well, you have it, people. They're moving forward. And, well, you know, and that is pretty heavy there. I actually got a glimpse of a lot of the guys out there in the waiting area, and like, wow. you know, it has got to be just a happy time there, I tell you. Those guys, I mean, you just have to not lift your hand for anything in that home. I don't know who would be upset about that. Moving on to the next case. Um, yes, let's see here. Okay, this is titled Land Problems. Oh, okay. Property
think he says he wants to be called the zoning manager. We have the zoning manager, and we have the land leaser. Zoning manager. Um, I told um her that her cart cannot exceed the line. She wanted to rent the lot, and correction, she wanted to lease the lot. And I agreed, but I put several lines as to how far her cart can roll. She continuously went over those lines. And I told her every time you go over those lines, there will be extra fines and penalties. However, if you exceed this amount, it will be a done data. Uh, Land leaser? Yes, my cart holds a lot of valuables, and um, the area that I wheel around in, um, it gets flooded at times, but I don't think that I go over the line as he is really expressing and complaining. It's like I'm like, where is he watching me from already? Like, how do he even know where my cart's wheels lie? I don't go over the lines. I wheel my cart, and the space of the land that I have, which is point 0.3 acres, point 0.03 acres, is no way that I am just going outside of my zone here. I totally will to what it is I'm tending to, and that's that. Um, he wants what I hear is he wants to negotiate. And when I tried to negotiate before we came in here, I went and spoke to him in the lobby, and I told him that I had everything that he was requesting, even the monetary, and then he just ignored me. Okay. Zoning manager. Um, yes, I think that she's trying to buy her way out of crossing these lines here. There's no way that I am going to accept any monetary um, when, I've already received all of the extra fines from her continuously crossing these lines in this uh, point 0.03 acre
I'm pretty sure I have people out there now that are interested in renting this land because the things that go on over there is an attraction. And we can't have a wheel hog just wheeling everywhere, bringing the area down like it is some kind of roller derby. Tenant? Well, correction. Land leaser. It, I don't treat it like like some kind of roller derby. You know, my wheels happen to be very huge for my cart. Now I have another cart that has smaller wheels, but you know, the continuous rolling, you don't understand how much I roll. You don't understand that sometimes I may roll over here, but then if somebody raises their hand, I got to roll back over there. And if somebody raises their hand in the back, then I got to roll all the way to the back. It's like I'm totally, this is not an ordinary roll. Like in the office, you may roll your cart to the stationary area in slow motion, or this is not the kind of roll where you're just rolling, you know, a little buggy or a stroller or anything like that. This is fast-paced rolling. So when they raise their hand, I have got to roll and get to these people. And, you know, the size of my wheels, I think, is the problem here, not my actual cart. Okay. Zoning manager. Um, so as of today, you're deciding to move forward. Yes. Okay. There you have it, people. Okay. On to the next case. Here. Let's see. We have. Now. Okay. So we have. Oh, this is an interesting one here. Okay, we have a doghouse. There's no title. And we have our husband-wife owner here. And then we have the pet owner. Male. Okay. Doghouse owner. Now, community-wise, around the season and the time of the weather, when the weather starts to get to the extreme, we decide that we lease out our doghouse community. Now, he decided that he would pick the one on the end, and we agreed that that would be best because of the size of his mixed breed of a pooch. Doghouse Lisa? Yes. So the doghouse actually was able to accommodate my pooch, and I glad that they respect that I like for my dog to be called a pooch. We never had any discrepancy about that. Yes, so it accommodated my pooch, and there was an extra room there for another pooch. So when I brought in the other pooch, it was a tad bit teeny tot. Um, that is when the problem kicked in with the husband and wife there. Doghouse owners. Yeah. Well, the problem is that we don't think that a teeny tot pooch needs to be living in the doghouse community. Teeny tot pooches are usually homebound, and we just did not agree with the upbringing and the surrounding of that teeny tot pooch around those huge pooch and all of those other pooch, and the howling and all of the sometimes the emotions of dogs can get to the extreme. Now, the tawny type pooch uh, sometimes is seen wandering throughout the community, and we actually notified one of the cooking communities to let them know that when they see the tawny type pooch, to encage it and bring it back. On numerous occasions, they had to do that, and that costs us. The encaging is not a cheap thing there, and we don't mind paying those fees. But however, the doghouse leasers have got to pay. Doghouse leaser? Yes. So, uh, the dog, we, uh, the tiny top hooch, yes. The tiny top hooch does leave. And again, it is a dog house community. The dogs, you know what dogs do. Dogs go out and they mind their own business. This is the same as the tiny top hooch. Nobody's gonna sit there and point their finger at the tiny top hooch. Not even a dog, and say, hey, you got to stay there. You can't go anywhere. None of that. The doghouse community is non-fenced, and you know, with it being non-fenced, then they come and go as they please. Uh, why, is my pooch being subsequently faced with being tossed out because the Tiny Tot pooch keeps nearing community area? Um, I don't think that my dog is responsible for the Tiny Tot pooch. I think the Tiny Tot pooch is responsible for itself. Okay, doghouse owners?
I totally agree with a little of what he said. However, we're going to have to move forward because, you know, the doghouse was only rented uh, and allotted on the end for his pooch. You if he wanted to add another pooch or another tiny dot, then he should not have chosen the one on the end. And that is the most that we're going to continue to say about this. Okay, doghouse Lisa, is there anything else you'd like to say? No. Okay, people. Well, you have it. That is the end of that case. I tell you, tiny Todd Pooch there. Um, yeah. That is the end of that case. Let's see. So, um, yes, I'm going to have to pick up what the rest of the case, as you heard the other people said, it was online. So yes, there's another case here. So I'm going to have to take a break. Okay. Again, this is Magistrate Mediation on Air. This is when the tenants and the landlords and homeowners and areas of vulnerable nature get together and before they proceed further in their litigation. Of course, most of these people um, resolve issues, and most of them don't. But whether they're resolved or not, they still go forward um, with other legal issues and obligations there. So it does not end here. It do not. Yes. Next case is going to be okay, we have a lakefront property. Okay. And we have we have some teenagers here that's on the lakefront property. And we have our tenants, female. Okay. Lakefront property owners. Yeah. Okay. Now, when we decided as our group expanded to own this lakefront property, we really were just going to make it our home away from home, from touring and stuff. And my member here was going to train for the competitions to near the Olympics and stuff. We were going to use that lakefront property, but we decided that it sat too long idle, and when we would arrive, is the accumulation of dust and debris, and weeds and everything, the ground not being taken care of, and all of that stuff, and so we decided that the home had to be habitable. Yes. Yeah, we did. We all decided that we just wanted, yeah, we needed the home to be habitable. Yeah, we stayed there a couple of times, but that's about it. But the home, it has 3 baths and 3 bedrooms. And it is, we were just a little worried about why she wanted to rent it. Because we knew that, we're a band and we're a group and we have other things going on, and so we need that space. We didn't know what she needed it for, but we were glad that we did. But we're here today because she does not want to leave. A tenant. Come on now. Mediator, if you were renting that lakefront property, you wouldn't want to leave either. There's no way. And then they're a famous band. Like, come on. No, I don't want to leave there. I did. I did. I agree. I barricaded the door. Yes. I still have some more time left there, some more months, like up to 8 months left. I really wish that they would not have given me such a quick notice. Then the miscommunication would not have went through to them thinking that I would never leave. I still have 8 months. Of course, I'm going to use that time to gear myself up for exiting. Um, Lakefront homeowner. um, yeah. Yes, because everything that she kept saying and the calls that we were getting when she was referred to call us back, we got several messages and everything that she wasn't going to do any of that stuff. No, no. And I told my sister, I said, I think she's just taking advantage of you all because you're in this band. I don't think that she's really, you know, like that at all. You know. Okay. Jenny? Yes, again, I say, I still have my time there, and I don't know why they decided to go through with this, anything like that. But off that, I would just like to say to the other girl, yes, I would be glad to be part of your band. Lakefront owners? Really? Yes. Okay. Yes, that still can stand. We just want our lakefront home back. Other than that, yes, I am so glad that you decided to be part of it. Yeah, yeah. No, she really said yes. Yes, she said yes. Yes. Okay. People. So, um, you're moving forward with this to magistrate um, as far as the lakefront property. Yes, yes. Tenant, yes. Okay, well, there you have it, people. Okay, there you have it. On to the next case. Um, let's see what we have here. That one didn't have a title, or did it? I don't remember everything. That's so exciting. Wow, I can't wait to see and hear some of that. People that I know is not going to believe that. I tell you, when you make it at the odd times, I tell you. On to the next. On to the next case. Yes. Um. Okay, we have a factory here. Yes, we have a charcoal factory here. Okay, charcoal factory is asking for some removals here, and we have our factory renter, a male. Okay, here we go. Okay. Um, management, factory management. Oh, where do I begin? Again. Charcoal. Okay. Now, I never agreed to let him come into my factory and process charcoal. I am pretty lenient with my factory, and I pretty much have other factories that I lease out, and I have no problem with anything that they're manufacturing and producing. But
can't be charcoal. Okay. Tenant? None of that made any sense to me. Now you want to wait till we sit here and say it can't be charcoal. I don't understand what my charcoal is doing. Nothing going on there that is causing any debris. It is just the making of charcoal. What is the problem? I don't get what the problem is with the making of charcoal. The only thing that's going on there is molding. He took a tour, came in, he opened, he sniffed, he touched, you know, looked around, and then now we're here. Not seeing how charcoal is posing a moving forward magistrate problem with my manufacturing at the building.
Okay. Manufacturer building management owner.
Yeah,
I, you know, I don't understand why,
he don't understand what the problem is.
I understand that
He knows that he's molding, but he don't understand that the chemical of mold. Now the abrasion and the equation, he needs to further in education and know that these things is harming the facility. Though we don't have other factories attached, we have factories nearby, and I can't be faced with long-term issues of that magnitude. The other thing is the processing of the amount of charcoal is the issue here.
Okay. So, what you're saying is, factory management owner, is that if he were to lessen the amount of the manufacturing production of the charcoal, is that acceptable for him to continue with his business there?
Possibly. If he can narrow it down from like 20,000 a day to maybe like maybe 2,000, then yes.
Okay. Factory leaser.
Now he's seeping over into my business here. Now I have clients and they are requesting these. The thing is, not only that, now you're putting my workers into a position to where they're not going to have a position. If I go from the amount that we produce in charcoal daily to what he wants, then it is going to be a big problem there. I think that not to take your mediation job, but I think that the best thing for me to do is possibly lease out the adjoining buildings.
Okay. Factory management owner.
Well, you know, if you put it like that, you know, if you really put it like that, and you really think that you can take on the adjoining two other buildings, because our other buildings sit pretty far apart there, I don't see there being any problem there. Now, if you really think that you can handle those responsibilities of the attachment of the two other factories, then I'm pretty sure that the molding and of the charcoal and the chemical process will be no problem there. And actually, I'm pretty sure that you will be able to escalate in the production area, which will be acceptable to me.
Factory leaser.
Yes. You know, I'm willing to go ahead and present the payment for those two buildings attached to mine. Yeah, you just go ahead and
Hold on. Okay. Hold on, factory leaser. Okay, factory management owner.
yeah, you can go ahead and do that, and I will get with the previous and the current occupiers there, and they will go ahead and relocate to the ones down the street because they do the same thing, and they just wanted to make sure that these places were safe when, you know, at times, as well as your business, and that is very acceptable there, sir.
Okay, factory leaser. Yeah. So again, payment and all of that stuff. We will be glad to expand as we're going to call this expanding two buildings added to our one, and because there's no way that we can go about losing our clients and in our affiliation. I'm not going to say that this is a bully move or bombardment at all. I am, believe it or not, excited about it. Okay, so factory property management owner. Moving forward with litigation to magistrate. Yes, we want to move forward, make sure all of this gets down and legalized, and we're going to continue as partners here. Okay, there you have it, people. There you have it. Well, on to the next case. What a litigation there, I tell you. Let's see. So we have apartments here. And we have our tenant. Okay. Tenant is a female, and then we have our leasing agent. It's a female. Leasing agent? Oh, hold on, people. Hold on. We seem to have been having some audio tests there. I had to get with the audio rep, and we had to figure out, make sure the sound quality is good because, of course, these mediations are recorded. Yes. Okay, so, landlord, apartment landlords against the tenant, if you will. Yes, whether it is the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus, I tell you, we try to bring it to our tenants in every aspect. We're a very holiday oriented community, and we express this when people decide to lease. We is coming down the chimney. Yes. We is going to bring the Easter baskets. Yes. We're going to carol. We're going to have all kind of things going on in those areas to express this to her. She still refuses to leave out the cookies and the milk. She still will not put up the extra bushes and shrubbery and the trees that were given to her in the box upon the signing of the lease. She also does not want to participate in any lightings, in any carrot things of that nature. Now, I told her that we can excuse the boxes that are empty, present-wise for Christmas if you don't want to go all out like other tenants with the gifts. You don't have to do that. So I told her, you don't have to do the gift box. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Now, when it came time for St. Patrick's Day, she didn't want to bring the mugs. And her name was on the list to bring the mugs. She didn't want to do that. She don't want to do anything that was announced to her at the signing of the lease. Tenant, it's not that I don't want to do those things. I get so lonely.
things sometimes. And these family things, I can't do these family things. I can't go and sit around jolly people all day doing these things. I ain't thought that when I signed the lease that it was going to be things that I like to do. But it started turning into me having to clock into punch into a clock like a gig, like a job. And I already have all of that stuff going on in my life. I didn't need extra. So the task started getting overwhelming. And of course I was delivering the task. I just didn't want to commune. And then it started turning the other way around. I started communing, but not doing the task. As of today, I think they brought me here because um, they just want somebody with a more upbeat feel. Landlord.
That is correct. You know, rah rah, yeah yeah, and ho ho, and all of that great stuff is what we like to hear around our apartment community. When we run into each other, it is hey, ha ha, rah rah, ho ho, moment, you know, and even some wow, yee. uh, yes, that is what our community is about. We sit off street, and so we are kind of like an attraction. And we people ride, and they like to see what is going on, and they like what is going on now. Our St. Patrick's event was a real turnout, and that is our biggest moment. That is when we get all the flashing lights, um, and the costumes and all of that stuff, and people off street park elsewhere to come and take a peek of our property. They don't actually come onto our property, but they take a peek to see what's going on around that time. And if there's one staying inside, then next thing you know, it is going to have a trickle effect there. Trickle effect. Yes, I think it's effect. Or is it effect? Is it effect or effect? It's going to have.
Well, I think it's going to have a triple of both. No, I think that is a triple effect. No, I think that maybe it is a triple effect.
Well, I think that it is a triple effect.
Well, at first I said that I think it is a triple effect or effect. I think it's a triple effect and effect. No, I think that it is a triple effect. Effect, effect. No, I say triple effect. No, no way. There's no way that is a triple effect. It has to be an effect. No, I disagree. I'm college bound. I think that it is effect. Education does play a role here in these descriptions, people. Me as a mediator, I think that it is both effect and effect. No. I've been doing this community thing a long time. Um, Again, being highly promoted with all the flashing lights and everything, at times is termed under effect. Well, actually, I'm the mediator, and I really think that you're using the word wrong there. I think in your field it is called effect. So, outside of that, are we moving forward with the magistrate? Yes.
Lieutenant? Yes. Okay. There you have it, people. That is it. Okay. That was our...
Maestro flicker with flicker on. Maestro music. Maestro killing. Binte flick. Cricket. Nothing proves in a loser. A two-time loser. Maestro killing. Dente. We get. Get 'em on you. Did we kill it? Bring it to the button. $2.30. Bring it to the button. Transaction. Not a button. Bring it to the overlay walls. Jefferson. Transaction. Read out to the sea. Looking at me. Rush of the sea.
sweetheart. Quiero que tú eres only I can never know this broken. Fellas on the last night to sweetheart. Quiero que tú listen. Don't get to listen. Scooping myself. Commissary. I'm not managed. Wash your steamy. Wash your still steamy. To me. To me, to me. Recharge your melody. Recharge your melodies.
What's up, guys? Dimitri Vegas here. My brand new track, 2 Times, together with Steve Aoki, is available now on TikTok.
Regrets moving. I'm tired of loop. Stuffed in there. Okay, so songs may or may not go like this. These are songs to paper. Yes, I go and jump right on into these songs here. I just love it. Margie Taylor puts these songs to paper. Um, okay. Okay. That's not title to this song here. Yes, this is on air. I'm here doing a sports interview here. So I'm just going to jump right on in there. Um, so, Dizetri, I hear that you know, you have a stack of trophies on your mantle there. Yes, yeah, yeah, my sport that I'm in there, what more can I say? My sport is a great one there. I started off doing another sport team there, and I wasn't doing too good there in that area. I do have like a couple of awards there for that sport, but however, there were team efforts. These awards and trophies and things that I have piled up here, there are also some are team, but the majority are individual there. Oh, okay. So what would have been, your most embarrassing moment there, on your team there? One of my most embarrassing moments was when they announced that we won, and they went back and they looked, and they seen that we actually had to go into overtime there on one of our team things, and I was already, exiting the building. Yes, I can understand how that would be a little embarrassing there. Yes, yes. So, how did the game win that you needed to go back in there? Uh, the commentators, they're really loud. So, yeah, so you need not say any more about that. I can understand how, when you're exiting and you get to hearing those commentators, they're very loud, and I know that had to been something for you. Usually, most sports, you hit the locker room. Like, from the time that you all were announced the winners to the time you decided to leave the building there, like, really? Like, you didn't hit the locker room? Like, that is seeming pretty foul there. Yeah, yes, I'm glad you said that. No, actually, I did not hit the locker room. You're right. That might be like my second embarrassing moment there. Yes. So you were still in full gear. Yes, yes, still in full gear there. Yes. Okay. So how was your people there? I hear you on the panel and everything like that. Well, you got to speak to some of them in office there. When you came to the office and agreed to do the interview and everything, I know you got to speak to a lot of the crew there, and a lot of people you've seen that you hadn't seen in a while. I heard all of the celebration. I thought they were going to turn it into a party, and yes. Actually, we did party later on. We partied. So basically, what you're saying to me is that you want to announce to those people a greeting. Yes, and just like to say, I had a ball blast with you guys. Yes. Okay, again, this is on air, and I'm doing a sports interview, and you know how those sports interviews go. So I'm going to come on off to the next person there, and I am going to go on into the next sports interview, and I have here Zeska of Team Chant there. Yes, it's Team Chant. Team Chant. We just got finished with our touring of a blast of 3 countries there, and as you can see from the pictures up there and some of the video there, you can see, look at them waving at us. Yes. You can see the whole team there. They were, wondering why you didn't ask for the whole team. Well, that wasn't my calling there, but we would be glad to have your whole team come in and sit down there. Actually, you were selected by one of the sports programmers that directs the area, and I'm not saying that I didn't want to meet with you or anything like that. But I'm glad you came to chat with me, and I'll keep that in mind. So I hear that when you all were competing, and you were just a tad bit nervous there. Yes, I was just a tad bit nervous because I didn't want to overdo it on that level there. And I struggled with them because I was thinking, like, if I don't overdo it now, and I try to save my overdoing, it goes plow, then I am going to be very, very, frowned upon there. So I struggled, and I just said, I am just going to give it all right now, and give it all right now is what you did. Well, look at that replay there. I mean, you really gave it all there. I mean, like the twirl with the swirl, and then you just went on and threw the ribbon on up there and everything, and it was just like amazing there. It's like one of the best tumblers that I've seen in a while. Yes, and a lot of people were very ecstatic about it. And you know what else? You know what? Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. You're not gonna believe that they gave an award to my music that I was actually challenging to. Wow. Yes. That music was very emotional there. I actually sat there and watched the whole game, and you hear so much music when you're watching that game that you think that sometimes every song is like the same song, but your song really got emotional there. Do you think that song is what really made you win as an individual and not as a team player? That is a good question, but actually, that song was picked by our coach. And it's actually a team song. It's not actually an individual song there. And I'm glad that you brought that up. But, my routine, yes, individual, but the song team, so that's why they ended up going ahead and congratulating the writer of that song and the people and the instruments and all of that. And they separated the winnings versus that song there. Yes. So your team rivalry. Your team rivalry is look, you're getting fidgety as soon as I say team rivalry. Yes, yes, I'm getting very fidgety. You know, there was, you know, somebody actually tried to do a little meet and greet with me, and it was from the other team, and my coach turned it down. Well, you don't have to get antsy. We're not gonna bring any of your rival here, but they're your rival on the screen, and they're waving. Yes, I see them. I see them. They actually placed second. Yes, they did. You know, yeah, hi guys. Yes, yes. You know, look at that. You know, I can't believe that you were able to carry that trophy in here. I had to carry this trophy in here no matter what, you know, but you do know that you're going to have to move on to the next person, which means you're going to have to pick that trophy up and take them with you, because you can't leave it right here. It's not going to look good for the next person that comes right here. Because the next person that comes right here actually do not have one of those. I know, I know, but you know, hey, I have been practicing. I've given enough strength to carry this around to how many interviews that you all want to give. Yes. Well, we are so glad that you came along, and you know, you just scoop that right on up and you just go on to the next person there. Okay. Okay. Take a break. Okay, yes, next one up here, I don't know how to pronounce your name. How do you pronounce that? Is Isingwa. Isingwa. Welcome at this section here, Isingwa. Isingwa, you know, I cannot believe that the trouble that you had with the flames there. So the flames. You know, actually they asked me to do it on a windy day there, and the windy day happened to, you know, just, you know, I was just told that no matter the wind, just keep going, and that's what I did. You know, I wish that I were able to do something else so I could have one of those trophies that the other lady had there. Yes, Isingwa. I told her, I said, you're going to have to get that, you know, the next person that comes here is not going to be happy about this. And, you know, I didn't really get to explain that you know, that you're not even really happy about the whole, you know, flung thing that happened there. You know, I think that it was a whole fluke for you and your country there. Yes. You know, they know my country, and they know the elements there in my country. And to take an indoor and turn it into an outdoor because of construction, I just can't understand why they decided, you know, my city to go ahead and put in to have it hosted there, knowing they weren't ready. But regardless of that, we were told to just put on a happy face and understand that once it's ready, we can do it again. Yes, you know, there's always another chance for a second impression there. I am one of those that really believe in nothing about a first impression. I always believe in giving another second shot there, and I believe that once your facilities is really and construction is finished there, I'm pretty sure that you all are going to have a lot of those there. And yeah. So, did you get to keep any remnants of the flame there that you were holding there? No,
I get it. You know, I got to keep some other things, but I didn't get to keep any of that stuff. And actually, they went on and just put it in a defect area, and they sent it off for evaluation of examination there, because they just don't understand that it wouldn't take to anything there. So being that your country is not really well known, and you're trying to get your country out there known to everyone, how do you feel answering for your country about that great big mishap that you all are known for now? Because that is going to stick with you all for a long time. Yeah, well, we're just gonna ride it. We're gonna ride it on in there. Again, once our facilities and our areas and our stance gets to where it needs to be, we're gonna hold that reputation anyway. Being that our country is um, going through such a trying moment here, you know, I'm not in fear of heading on to the next interviewer over there. Surely you're not. Surely you're not. But actually, you don't get to speak to the next interviewer. You don't get to speak to the next interviewer. This is it for you. Yes, this is it right here. But we're glad that you came and you spoke. Yes. All right. Thank you. Okay, I'm with the last person to interview here for the sports thing. Of course, if you know anything about the sports show here, we only do, I think, like up to 4 people there. And they go on to the next people depending on what they chose there. So, to those that got angry, you need to know that it's not my doing, it's what he chose. Um, I don't know if he understood what he chose there. Um, so, Thuda, you actually had it going great there. I hear you're one of the best wrestlers there that happens to be there. The greatest, and I want to say the youngest there. So a lot of people take you very lightly there, based on your tone and your stance and your physique and look there and your character. I hear you're highly recommended in the magazines there. Very recommended there. Yes, I've been in a lot of magazines there, and I had the mag industry demands me a lot there. Um, and yes, but of course, I hold a lot of belts. I don't really um, choose my opponents there. My circle, my inner circle, and my trainers, everyone get together and they match me correctly, because if I match myself, then everyone will say that I am just picking who I want to pick, and that's not it. So you get mistaken a lot for a woman there. Yes, I do. I never really got my base in, and I'm still young, so when my base kicks in, I am going to not have anyone recognize me unless they actually face to face me there. Yes. So, being that before you um, came this way, you made the decision to have this long interview here. Is it because you wanted to connect with me? Yeah. Yes, I want to connect with you. I hear you're one of the ones that needs to actually have your moment there. Oh yes, I need to have my moment there. Yes. I don't want to actually invade on anybody's belt there, because I am a belt fanatic. outside of a champion belt there. I am a belt fanatic, and I tell you, I am such of a belt fanatic that once I have a belt, oh, it is not going anywhere. Yes, that is how I feel. So yes. So I hear that you've been to other countries and you've been to other cities and areas and stuff like that, and you get to experience a lot of different techniques. A lot of techniques outside of what we do. American matting is totally different in other countries, and I was over in Mexico, and I went to Argentina, and I was over there, and I think it was Zimbabwe, somewhere around in there, and those techniques are like American techniques. Yes, but once I went over into um, I was over into I think it was Panama, somewhere. I think I was in Panama, and over in Panama and Dublin and stuff like that. They, hey, the techniques there are they have some hitting stuff going on there. If your training is not stern and your your sense of style is not stern, then you can actually find yourself losing very quick there. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, you happen to be one of the quickest people. Like, nobody sees anything coming with you. And that is what you're known for. Yes, that is exactly what I'm known for. They take me, the way they see me. And so once we square off, they're taking me how they see me, and they never see it coming. And so as you can see, my coaching staff have all the belts. Look at the belts there. Yes, they have those. And you wouldn't believe that, those countries greeted me and take me in. They take me in. And I am very happy about that. But yes, I am known for the quickness there. Yes. Is there any moment that anybody ever caught you where you weren't at your quickest moment there? No, no, I go in with the quickness there. I go in with the quickness, and that's all I'm thinking is quickness there. I come from a family of a long range of techniques, and we start very early in quick technique, and they call it quick techniquing, but I call it something else. And quickness is very, very important, and people have started trying to train in that area. Those that decide they want to come against me or against any member of our tribe, and it is just not going to happen. If you don't know anything about our quickness, you're just wasting your time. Yeah. They're wasting their time. So, your coach has just joined us here. We're a trainer. Yes, a trainer and my spar partner. So, your spar partner, yes. So, I, as, a spar partner, my job is to slow down the quickness. And so, that is what my job is, to slow her down on her quickness. I mean, no. It's fine. Her, he, whatever. Yes. So that is what I have to do. And I take a lot of hits, and I take a lot of things going on there. But there's no bruising to the body or anything like that I have going on there. Yes. So how was it training? What made you decide to pick your people here? Well, what happened is, I happened to I just caught a glimpse, I caught a glimpse. We were somewhere, I can't say where we were, and
I just knew. I said that one right there is the potential. Um, he did not have to come to me. Um, I knew that once I neared and I proposed that that was what he was going to agree with there, and he did. So how do you feel about the whole mix-up thing of he, she, and all of that? Well, with him and with some other people in our tribal, um, we don't get into the whole he, she of American language there, and American as they call it nouns and descriptions there. He actually um, entered into society with nothing, so they had to ask him what it was that he wanted. Oh, really? Yes. Yes, that is what happened there. Um, can you explain a little more about that? Or is that too personal? No, that's why we're here. We're also here to celebrate the belts that we have over there. But we're also here to announce and address the he, she thing because people need to know that that rare gener- generic thingy there. This is the aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor there. Audio. I was going to put it on auto, but I'm not wanting to take it there right now with these. I'll probably go and put it on auto with some more notations because right now I'm not in editing mode. And if I put it on auto, I'm going to have to edit, and that means I'm going to have to audio. And I'm going to have to take two keyboard and typing there. So I don't want to do that right now. So I'm just going to um, do the audio here. And then I will think about new material on Otter, or I will put this over here on Otter. And plus the timing there. I think I'm only allotted like increments there. And so once I do the increments and then I go back and then I edit and see what it is that have happened there. A lot of things some of the things that I say, Otto is saying I say is not exactly being said there. So and I have to go ahead and edit it, and I just am not up to that right now with that. Getting my words twisted there. So I'm gonna take it word by word here, exactly how it is and how it's written at the moment of the realm. Because I take the order with my rims and everything, but I can't keep doing that because these are rims, actual rims. They're not made up. And when I input it to Otter there, audio wise, Otter twists my words, and you can't twist that because these are rims. So I have no choice but to take it here. If it were anything else, then I wouldn't mind putting it in order and going in and edit. But when I have to go in and edit what I've said, it makes it look like it's not real. And I can't do that. So I can't have Otter making me out to be some kind of farce. So this one here, these are the aborted is Beth Georgia Taylor. So of the abused here. I have a legal section and all of that great stuff. So Cambodia was a locale here, and it says that this is unreal. I am the aborted. My father urged my mother to abort. She laughed at it. He kept mentioning he was very serious about such proceduring. She then took to asking options and research. Word spread throughout communities of her wants. Then my father became bashful, withdrawn, withdrawn from family or community or both. My father was trying to sneak abortion. When many found out, he then wanted to keep me. You were aborted? Why do you think your mother changed not her mind as he started to persuade? Long process of searching aimed her. Hospital locale, clinic, home, clinic, she says. I remember all. I see my mother a lot. Not as much my father now. My mother became my best friend. She knows not I was her, the aborted. Do you hold a smidgen of a grudge? No. We are all real friends. That was Cambodia. Now over in Czech Republic of a locale. Trivago is where it all began. Your parents planned a vacation? Not exactly. Just to stay at a hotel. Do you blame Trivago? No. You mall? Correction. You mail? Yes. Is the hotel where you heard the announcement home? Before the hotel, my mother enjoyed seaside. Eating much fish. My father jerked a lot. Correction, joked a lot. Though not serious about either of us. Family with him. We stayed seaside so long, I think we were slightly living there. I seen much light through the belly area, not much of darkness. I was suctioned out like a bag through a laser procedure. A small hole. How did they get you in a bag? Not knowing. To date, my father embraces that wound area of my mother's belly. Wow. Isn't that something? Okay, then it took us to Queens, Jamaica locale. Seem eager for my presence. Yep, she says. You the aborted? Yep. You female? Yep. The moment you knew you were being aborted, I felt heat. Seemed a bit misty. I stretched my arms to the side of the tummy inside area and closed my eyes. Did you hear any voices? Sounds of a physician. Then I stated, oh, correction. Then I started to melt toward the lower abdomen. Did you feel any emotions or see anything at this timing? Before the procedure, how was your family at home? Much was quiet, not many sounds. Did you hear your paternals? Many a times my mother's employment, she crowded with great elated people. Did they know you were in there? Not really. She did not speak about me. Queens, Jamaica. What do you think of? Is this where it all happened? Loving Jamaica. My mother embraced Jamaica too. You speak nothing of your father. He did come in after. I drooled out in the room to commune with the doctor. The aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor takes two. Suddenly a phone rings. The paternal father answers. The doctor informs him the abortion a success. The paternal mother then enters the door of the home and starts to cry. Then my vision switches to the doctor telling his nurse to write timing of death on and to place filing. The doctor announced to the nurse staff the father seemed to take it all in great. After informing him that his wife did not make it through the procedure. Georgia Taylor, en route to Mexico locale. A couple conversates in their vehicle, saying, "As soon as we arrive, I am aborting. I, G. Taylor, do not believe Mexico as a real, vivid existence, though I must write to ESP Rim. Knocking me up at a time like this, we can silently raise this kid." The paternal father responds, "I am a reverse bounty hunter. What's that to do with raising this?" "What crime did you two commit?" "We shot a man, a important man, very important man. So important, we headed this way." They aborted ASP of Georgia Taylor. They go in and then they come out, get in their vehicles and drive off. Some have no facial expressions, though many I can read their faces. As a parking attendant, do you feel the need to pry? I grab, snatch a number or two. I am a sucker for a woman. How has a date went? Of course, they all start with a conversation of the procedure and thought process. Then a diss to the father. I went out with a couple of fathers, none like the mothers. They speak none of what took place. Cool to party with. I see you do not facilitate the employee parking area, meaning you do not see many staff or physicians. No, just arriving and departing patients, along with their party members. They avoided ESP of Georgia Taylor. Your pharmacy very crowded. Not at all. Many go to their choice. What is the most expensive medication field? Surely not a pain pill. Though we have had to do some ordering, prescriptions are physician etiquette at times, more preferred than requested. Any revivers, boosters, enhancers, strengtheners, and yes, the aborters. I did not want to go and actually ask you about such. You do fill those, yes, prescribed and requested by a physician. Many a times after a procedure, as some have sexual contact before they arrive, hours in of weeks as comfort. The current process has none to do with what is to come next. So they take two abort pills even before an abortion procedure. The abuse ESP of Georgia Taylor. Expected lifespan age 119, 419. Very important to know. As mentioned, IG Taylor am not the one searching for me when I am not in REM. Trying to communicate with me or send to visualization is somewhat cruel. I keep to a clean mind when I see enactments or actual events take place while out of REM. It moods. Three cold case. I categorize cold case even if not. Cold case. Boy, man being taunted and hunted down after shopping at a mall saying is he overdrew his account. The female merchant, very wroth, ordered hit on the boy. Man is said excited. Uh, Correction, man is said exiting vehicle scene of his. Mm. Another cold case there. Pregnant woman arrives at parking lot in labor Why the arrival? Many think labor began sudden. Women alerted many. However, she was exited and baby abducted. Cold case. College student on college break, AIDS friend and subdued to other friends. Wooded area. Argue over a dude and acts of them both slain. Two fled after one removed a royal crown. Today, area a monumental through public attract. Cold case. Abuse of a sort. Various sightings, though no locale or if role, acting knowledge omit. Now I detail of ESP am to take the abused through. I can only stop there at abuse. When it veers over into an exit, I cannot interfere unless it becomes a cold case.
Mm.
The abuse ESP of Georgia Taylor. My topic thus takes to a vision of seeing ones being held hostage after coming from work. One woman was being seen held captive for about a couple of days. I could see at least a couple of men. Then suddenly she stopped arriving or parking in the driveway. Then my vision showed another woman being duped out of her vehicle and those forcing her to sign over the title, saying they want her homeless. This includes no vehicle. Since my visions, things have abnormally abstracted. Admittance into the home has gotten weird. I.G. Taylor only write and take to those sightings and hearings, though most times I too already know what is going to happen before it happens. The aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor, continuation of ESP from part 1. And I will start part 1 on another recording here. Actually, I don't even know. Oh, there's part 1. I'll start part 1 and then I'll go into part 2 on another recording. This is the aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor there. Audio. I was going to put it on auto, but I'm not wanting to take it there right now with these. I'll probably go and put it on auto. The aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor, Part 1. Somewhere, an astronaut is being surrounded by many. As she gives birth or is having complications, I see astronaut gear. She is in full suit. However, headgear is off. Is it an abortion? A doctor sits at his desk. He conversates with the man as the man calls abortion for women. Some sneaky little bitches. The doctor had opened his book, a huge book, fingered down the listing, and sadly announced to the man that he would notify all the aborteds next of kin. Their procedure as the babies have rights too, including the birthing mother and father. It is not against the law where they reside to, after a procedure, notify a next of kin, also to offer funeral services. The man yells and almost cries to his wife that he wants a family. They've made a lot of plans, included in this is a family. He kept explaining as she sadly consoled him, telling him she understands, but she cannot have their baby. The once not long ago actor and actress played in a movie together. Now they're much younger. Conversating about her now decision to have an abortion. He feels lied to and entrapped in their decision of past and confused of decision of now. Though they are nowhere near an abortion facility, they're seemingly at home. He just keeps saying, "You promised me a family." They are not acting, they are living their private lives. They aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor. Yes, I can hear them outside the window yelling, "No more abortions!" I was in I was inside my mother's body. Was your mother relaxed? No. Her heart rate was up. I know she was listening. Doctors were speaking to each other saying law enforcement should not let them come close to the window. Then they went back to performing the procedure. My space inside was abnormal small. I stretched to both sides. Were there any support for her inside there, or any support for you? Somewhat. I assured my mother once out that she best not be broke when I am of a age to see her again. Not judging, just company money correction, not judging, just comparing money situation of now to when then. I do not want her answer of avoiding me to be because of it was money. The man with her was not in the surgery room. He seemed a bit angry, though a bit supportive strangely. I scanned their vehicle and could see the gas tank is not on E, but soon nearing seems the guy with her is not the father of the aborted. The aborted assured her he'd see her again, though he did not hear her. I envisioned him out, and then he walked off as an adult. The aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor, continuation of ESP from Part 1, Part 2. Why do you think they suspect Michael's mother as astronaut? We refer to Adonis Creed. Our mission was to stop him from being born. His mother, too, gave birth at time of complications employed as an astronaut. Thus also the general of Russia or America say they do not want Adonis or his sister born. That is why Russia idolizes them both to this date. With raised banners, who was giving birth to his sister? Was Sigourney Weaver giving birth to his sister too? No, just Adonis. Did she lose Adonis during the complication? As I see you all surrounding, do you know that my picture is one raised banner along with Adonis? We were brother and sister. Yes, you were not born yet, or you two became brother and sister, trusting no one, then husband and wife. This is why Russia raised your banner and is idolized and has idolized you too. Did she lose the baby? They aborted. What was next of me? They aborted. Why choose Sigourney? She was Apollo's wife. Was? Yes, was. They broke her. They aborted. Locale, unknown clinical. Anna G. Taylor, see a vision of a woman. Patient, tugging hysterically on a nurse. She just aborted. Says to him, "You have got to get me back pregnant." He sustains her as she is laying on a clinical bed. She is frantically, almost mental, out of control, and hitting other staff. Other staff runs in. She is yelling, "No baby, no baby." They tell her she has got to relax and that she cannot behave in such a way there at their clinic. Can I speak to the aborted? My mother battled cancer. They told her she could not have me. After the abortion, she wanted me or any baby back in there. Were you at risk of ill? They told her amputations. She is crying, saying to the doctor, saying that the doctor lied to us. You were in there. Did she have cancer? Yes, throughout her body. She has cancer. I heard. I love you, mommy. Correction. I heard. I love you, mama. The abuse. Locale. Serbia. What are you? You male or female? I am male. What do you know of that happened to make you know a correction? To make you now the aborted. I cannot believe she did it. Actually went through with it. Do you think your father in belief? Abusive and he is hitting her right now. Slow movements with arm, hand. Seen your father do this all the time. As I to see him hitting at her, he is saying you will have one when I say you will have one. Can you go and stop your father from hitting your mother in any way? Or is you just envision as myself? Yes. Well, you have got to go and stop him from hitting her. You all are in a public place. Do not hit her. Come. We could talk about it. IG Taylor can barely hear the conversation as the aborted left from speaking to me to go and calm her father from abusing the mother. They know not that she is actually one of that they aborted. He says something about his brother cannot go as one of the reasons he made his wife abort. I would not try and listen to he and the aborted speak to each other. I would ask the aborted of such conversation as he has calmed the man, his father, and he is speaking to him as to why he abuses his mother. He has not mentioned he is the actual aborted to mother or father, but he did go and stop his father from abusing his mother at that time. And they sit and talk. IG Taylor decided to come out of that realm, and if I would like to go back to that realm, then I will try to go back and see how things are going there. They aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor, locale Bermuda. Why you insist locale of Bermuda? You the aborted? Yes. You male, female. Thumbs up, male. Thumbs down, female. Yeah, I did tell her I'm getting vision in here in female. And she says she choice location because she is still aborted and was aborted at that locale. She says the people there act as if they are all that and none such happens there. Your paternals, do you love them? Did they love you? She had no response seemingly in a realm, daze, or psychosis. As I did Taylor see a vision of her father peering into paternal mother's belly, pointing at organs that he wants some moment to be his. Your paternal father wants your organs. How do you feel about being used as an organ donor? What? She says. He said he loved me. He showed love and compassion toward me. He comforted my mother. Did you have other siblings? Many, she says. Did your paternal mother conceive again after you were aborted? No response from her. Yeah, I.G. Taylor can see a vision of the paternal father now again near paternal mother's belly, implanting his phone number digits, saying in case she makes it to survival, he would know who she is. Do you feel anger at the city of Bermuda? She gets up, runs, and sobs. Now the father there, um, let me said just in case they're aborted, they had with his paternal mother made it through the abortion to live, decided that he would just go and implant his phone number in the baby. They're aborted ASP of Georgia Taylor, locale Mississippi. Mississippi, what a great place. Yeah, great place it is. You male or female? Thumbs up for male. Thumbs down for female. What happened there? Did you become the aborted there in Mississippi? Actually, near the border. When did you hear you were going to not commune with your paternals? My mother pointed to her belly while speaking to my father. Then he said, "No way. Not in this house." She asked him then, "What house?" Were they joking? I'm not communing with them. I'm here speaking to you. What did you see or hear when realizing the procedure taking place? There was a strong smell, chemical. I heard a voice of some. My mouth and lips became thick slime. Then I was out. Did you pass through? I am thinking I did. My dad was relieved. I could not sense my mother's emotions. The doctor told her to get dressed. Before this, what was their relations like? A very bond of. Today, they still reside together. Did they have any, or might I say, do you have any siblings? I was going, if communing, as the only one. Nope, they have none. If this is your up to date question, they're aborted. ESP of Georgia Taylor. Anonymous. The abortion procedure is a decay of roadkill, though more foul. Yes, some pregnant, forced to getting vehicular, then left with no medic till a deceased after scaffold area of, to then let weaned or area to habitation pet to no findings of pregnancy. Gut removal, dry hemo, to question sugar and hormone levels, to a degree of never carrying. Thus, this some type of procedure performed on pets and animal help. Though topic here, impregnated by same being, contact as humane. They aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor, locale Puerto Rico. They only aborted one of us. I am the aborted. My twin is communing your locale, Puerto Rico. How do this make you feel? Sad and all the times. I see them all time. They seem happy. Actually not seen is. I sit and watch them when they are in their family room. My twin is gorgeous. My mom and dad too. When did you find out you were not going to commune? First something was near me. I did not know what. I could hear a stern voice of deepness all the time, seemed to love me and care. Then I heard arguing. Then the arguing got louder. I sensed a hit to the face, though I felt no emotion of my father or mother. Asked to know which was struck. Seeing them often now, do you see their abrupt behavior or hear it? No. As I say, they is happy. You knew not you had a twin next to you? No. I knew something was there. I did not know it was a someone. The procedure, what happened? A drawing slid after mid belly down, so they knew your paternal mother was with twin. Yes, the doctor drew light road lines down to the near waist, then incision one side with a scalpel. Then I did not see that something anymore. A woman ran out sobbing, with hands over her eyes. Who was she? I think she was a full grown twin who was that something next to me, watching. My paternal dad just kept watching, seeming excited. I was out, though a little upset, saddened. You think the sobbing one was your twin as an adult? Yes, though now still a kid with my paternals or our paternals. Have you sought to speak with her as an adult? Both yourselves? No. Never thought about it. Do you want me to try and ram her as an adult, not as a youth, youngin? Sure. What do you mean it should have been blanket? Why did they choose me? You cry. I have your twin Remy with me now. Is her name Blanket? Blanket is what they were going to name her. Do you want to run with? Yes, she sobs. Your sister says your name is Blanket. I am Remy now at the exact moment you say she began to cry and ran out. Why was she crying? Why were you crying? She can speak to me. Yes, she wants to know why you cried. Standing there and watching them take her away out from near me, then I began to wonder why they did not choose me. I did not think of my paternals, only her. Have you seen yourself as a youngin? No. What do you want to ask your twin? We will be together someday. She says you two will be together someday. Ivy Taylor has just lost Rim. No response from the aborted. The aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor. The abused ESP of Georgia Taylor. Land and atmospheric beings are not exempt to abort life, thus the same for rooted or limbed. Aquatic at times school purpose, just to leave a baby pre or anew. Many aquatics are male that can bear want the spotlight, thus leading other aquatic to the larger of the aquatics. You think nothing is happening aquatically? Then take to atmospheric, same as aquatic. Many flock term schools also. Botany life is not too far from any other life. The more attractive, the more of no length of exists, or if not, that lucky exists at all. Winds and implements abort. Emotions of need to abort. The urge to not end aborted. Take botany, all want to belong and near illumination. Taken to compass that way, leading to fragile as a neck area, strain to stems, lessen strength to stems. This then can lead to unbalance of nutrition intake. Unbalance then leads to discoloration. As other problems and strains, this then affects the buddings. Some would never make it to a bud. This then falls to a falling bud and or discolored, which lands into the soil, then causing dryness and or infestation. Thus, the same with the pregnant maternal. Dryness and infestation before or after a procedure hazard. Land herd, thus a abort, whether of farming or of population red zone, many watch daintily throughout a moment as the one of theirs being aborted. Yes, I.G. Taylor do care about all the aborted, so much that I am giving the ESP abilities to communicate with the aquatic land herd, pets, land animals, botany, and trash debris. Legal section. Intentional mourning. The aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor. The abused ESP of Georgia Taylor. The neonatal is a view for those that do not understand aborting. Many think some end up there because of narcotics, nicotine, and alcohol. Not so much all of those. Many were in paternal abused. Many were in a failed abort process of a cover up. Something somewhere went wrong. Then we see them incubating, surrounded around, seen behind scene, of carrying emotions, when some have in minded emotions of just exit already. Staff has no discern as to one's real thoughts or emotions of as a visitor. when they visit. Not staff as the visitors, but visitors. Staff watch the visitors, but they have no thought as to what they're thinking about when they come to visit. Many aborts found septic, found bagged, found curbside, many found in bellies. For all there came a start somewhere. Somewhat. A thought process, somewhat. Cruel ways of aborting is one thing G. Taylor has despised for a length of time. I did not just start missing persons and unsolved case analysis by G. Taylor now. I did not just start the aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor now. I did not just start the abused ESP of Georgia Taylor now. I have been investigative since I was before a teenager. The aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor, the aborted, correction, the abused ESP of Georgia Taylor, in the aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor legal section. Question: to what is your take on ones with child, a paternal who wants to homeschool themselves before they finalize on bringing their newborn into the home to men clamp with paternal father and any other family members? Answer: I.G. Taylor cautioned the paternal of both ways. Many long to homeschool their kids. Yes, many want to homeschool themselves to have stability of family sternness as to emotional and affiliation. Commit as to safety. Sorry to say, homeschooling is not safe. Buying essentials and using online mechanisms is not safe. It is in the category of pre aborting as to premature aborting without intent. Many prey on those in this way. Question: why do you use the word pray? Answer: I.G. Taylor used the word pray because it is the correct term word. Many education essentials involve watching and reading, listening and repeating. By the end of a course, this can determine if you will have the aborted. ESP communication realms take to a discussion as to communication at scale, as to industrial and economy intake, finance boost, correction, finance boost. Question: do you think charging those of ESP or psychic more abilities for a communication realm should? Answer: I.G. Taylor believe in all areas there is the term fee. Realms come as many. However, a psychic or ESP realm is not in the areas of radio kinetics or television kinetics. Modules surely is not an enhancement. Paying fees for non communication as to near or draw in our clients, yes. A fee can. The abuse ESP of Georgia Taylor. The aborted ESP of Georgia Taylor legal section. Before I knew what abuse is, I felt saddened. For a young girl, many rumored her mother very abusive, so much she fell out a window to a breakage of a limb. After I heard of this, I then knew what abuse is. I became investigative as to a mind of sorts, coming to realization as why this young girl wanted to abuse me. Did I understand her actions? No. I did understand her acting out and non-trust leading to wildism. When I I.G. Taylor was much younger before a thorough team began. A professionalism forward, skilled in many career areas at that age led me to not know what a career to adult until I subbed in under authority skilled train at locale off topic. During idle business, I conversated with my overseer. He began to tell me many stories. Then came a story about one he knew who went through a aborting process. To me, the description was very awful. I.G. Taylor knew investigating is my field. I began with him. Now, today, I.G. Taylor am CEO and founder of, and I am skilled as to ESP Realm. You saying yes, you can fax me the paper, or no, you cannot fax me the paper? Well, you're going to have to find the paper because I did put it in the mailbox and it did go through the post office and it did go, I don't know. That paper is not going to be the paper I fax. Okay, because the stuff that I fax after I put that in the mailbox. So that is not going to be good. I just say it, you just need things that I fax, right? We'll have to do it. Wait a minute, hold on. You say you received the fax for me, right? No, I'm not talking about that sheet that you're talking about with the mail. I'm talking about, did you receive a fax from me? You started off the conversation when you received my fax. And what documentation is that? Okay, that is a fact. Okay, so that is a fact. Okay, so, is it right now what you're saying? Or is, is both of you handling this? I know that I just sent that in. I got a new fax number. I sent, wait a minute. I got a new fax number and I sent that in as official pages of blah, blah, blah. That was just official pages to go along with claim. It was not it was not like necessary requested stuff that you asked me. That was just something I passed over as official. Now, the piece of paper that you was talking about, if you all have not received, I mailed it. So you're going to have to go and find it. I say that the piece of paper that you mailed me, I filled it out and I mailed it back. So what if you wanted to just say mail in, did you want to mail in another piece of paper? Do I need to fill that paper out or can I just go ahead and fax you for your request? Well, I already sent you the picture. That is it in the fax. You have that. You have that in. Okay, well, we don't need that. Because I don't understand how you did not receive that and the whole claim was due. You would not
Hmm.